Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hi there.
Our Ladybug podcasts are back. We're talking top 10 Akumatized villains in Miraculous Ladybug. This podcast will be ranking our top 10 villains through the first 3 seasons of the show. Excited to see who each of us have on our lists. And then stay tuned because it was a jammed-packed June for Ladybug news, and we have a lot of news to get to. So kind of 2 major topics to go through here.
And news it is.
Actually, we kind of have actual news. So we'll kind of go a little quicker through all our lists because we have a lot of news to get to. But if you are not subscribed to our Ladybug podcast, do so. Find all those links at overlyanimated.com, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/overlyanimated. I think we're probably going to settle into monthly here for the foreseeable future. We can talk about that at the end. But something I want to mention on the top of the podcast is at some point we're going to try to do a Ladybug family feud like we talked about, I think, at the end of last podcast. I have those questions ready, so start filling them.
But you mean it's not next month? I was getting excited.
I think if enough people fill it out, it'll be next month. Okay. We'll talk about that at the end. So overlyanimated.com/family feud, one word, to find the survey. It's also in the podcast description. Start filling those questions out. It'll help us out so we can do the Ladybug family feud in the future. Okay, but we have top 10 lists to get to here. Our top 10 Akumatized villains. So all I sent Delaney and April was the Ladybug Wikia villains list, which made this not super hard. So thank you, Ladybug Wiki.
Bless.
And we went through that list, and basically everyone was eligible, every Akumatized villain. So we'll see what everyone interpreted that as in terms of who made their list. So let's start off with just generally, how'd you make your list? What was your process? How much time you spend? What was is it like a favorites list? Is it a best list? Is it like, because I feel like you can do most powerful villains, coolest villains. Like, did the show, is it the best utilization in the show, a combination of all those? And then, like, was it hard to make 10, or was it like pretty easy to get it down to something close to 10? Delaney.
So mine's kind of like a weird combination of like just my favorites, but then also like further down my list, it's kind of more like, granted, this does apply to my favorites. Like they're villains that I think are just neat concepts, or like I was really blown away at the time by like the villain when the episode aired. Like a lot of these, because I didn't rewatch, and I was looking at the Wikia, and it was more it was based on memory, so it was more like the villains that really stood out to me, the ones that I really remember enjoying. So they're either to me, it's kind of like a favorites list, but also like the most original kind of like exciting villains. I don't know, like just different villains, if that makes sense. Not that we have similar villains. I don't know, like villains that really stuck out.
Yeah, so unique ones you favored, maybe.
Unique, yeah, like unique villains. And granted, we do have repeats, and the other way, and then really my top, it's kind of dumb. I don't know, like I feel like I had a really solid like top 8, and then I don't know, like it's weird because like I have a top 10 and I'm really happy with my top 10, but I did struggle a little bit with like, now my number 10 spot was a lock, but like 8 and 9 were just a little bit harder to kind of like, they just weren't as easy. Like I had to go through the wiki a couple of times and really sit on it, if that makes sense.
So you had a trouble filling out the last few spots potentially.
Yeah, but like, but the top of my list, I was like done.
Okay, interesting. So we'll see what that means when we go through Delaney's list. April, same question. What was your list process, and what type of villains did you favor?
Okay, so my list process was
Is Hawkmoth on your list?
No spoilers. So my process was I looked at the Wikia, and like every single person that I was like, oh, I really liked this episode, or oh, I really liked this villain, like I put it down, and then I just like thought about, okay, like why is it that I liked this person, and then I sort of like ranked them based off like things. So like some of them, so my list is kind of all over the place because like some of them it's just like, haha, that's funny, and then other ones are like, no, this is serious, guys. Like so, or like, this person does this, and that's how they made my list, kind of thing. So, but I do have like honorable mentions as well, because I was like, oh, but I really like this person, but like I didn't have room for them in my top 10. So
okay, yeah, we'll do honorable mentions too. Okay, so a combination for April. Yeah, I will admit I did not spend a ton of time on this list. Like, I put a lot of time into the top 10 episodes. I rewatched like a lot of episodes. I rewatched 0 episodes for this. Kind of made it pretry quickly. So different magnitude here. I went through the wiki. I wrote down 20. So it's easy to get to 20. Then I started. I feel like I guess the top.
I couldn't do 20. Like, absolutely not.
There's just like 20 stood out, and then it wasn't too hard to narrow it down. I mean, I had some hard cuts in here, so I have a lot of honorable mentions. But I think I favored like really like unique or really powerful villains. I like that. And then also just the classics. I got to get some of the classics in there. So you'll see what that means as we go through the list. But I assume some of these.
I feel like I have classics.
Classics are gonna be on all of our lists.
Classics.
The classics dating all the way back to like 2016 or something. I don't know when the show started. It was a long time ago. So and then there's some I had to put on, so we'll see what that means. Okay, let's do honorable mentions. Quickly run through any you want to note, if there are any. You might not have any because you had trouble filling out the.
I don't have any.
Okay, Delaney is firm on
0.
her 10. April, what are your honorable mentions?
Okay, so my honorable mentions are Reflector, Star Train, Princess Fragrance, Oblivio, and Gorizilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got 0 of those in my 20. That I think we might have once again very different lists. My honorable mentions. It's gonna pain me to say there's 3 Akumatizations of Chloe, Antibug, Queen Wasp, and Miracle Queen. I couldn't separate them, and I didn't want to take up 3 spots on my list, so I just didn't put any in. So they're all honorable mentions. All 3 Chloes.
I can't decide, so none of you.
I can't choose between my children, so they're all out. Like, I love all of them.
You just had to if I had one, it was probably going to be Antibug.
Yeah, it felt nostalgic, Antibug. I don't know, like maybe Queen Wasp, the best. But I really none of them stood out too much over the others, which made me not want to put them in. So I put
Chloe's a villain.
So I put them all in honorable mentions. Timebreaker, I love. That's a season 1 episode for Alex. I love Timebreaker.
That's in your honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I'm shook.
I know. I'm noted Timebreaker lover. There's a lot of good ones to get through here.
Dylan stands Timebreaker.
I do stand Timebreaker. I put Mr. Pigeon in my honorable mentions. I really wanted to put Mr. Pigeon in. That's a classic, but couldn't do it. Puppeteer. I think Puppeteer is actually a great villain. And the show has made great use of her. Didn't quite make it. Volpina. Love Lila. Wanted to throw Lila in there. Didn't make it. Love Lila though. Robustus. I love the episode Robustus, and I love.
Dylan, who is in your list?
I love Markov.
All of your favorites.
I know. Well, when I thought about it, I'm like, I like the episode better than the villain.
I don't even care about my list anymore, Dylan. I'm
what is on your list? I literally cannot understand.
Look, the best part of Robustus is he unleashes the missiles at Hawkmoth. Is that the villain? Does that count as the villain, or is it just the episode? So I don't know. That was what I was grappling with, but he almost made it. And then Dark Owl, also honorable mention. Love Dark Owl. But again, I think it's the great use in the episode. But that could be a criteria, so you could easily argue for any of them. But there are some tough cuts here. That's why I said I had 20 of them. There's a lot of good ones. You'll see. I feel like there's maybe some ones that aren't on your list that I definitely had to include, and you'll understand why. Okay, let's do what we did for top episodes. We'll go through 10, Delaney, April, me, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, and then if the person says one, it's going to be later on your list. You don't have to say anything. You'll talk about it when it gets to you. If you don't have this villain on your list, you can comment if you have any comments. So Delaney, start us off with your number 10.
My number 10 is Mr. Pigeon.
Okay.
Block.
So what about Mr. Pigeon said Mr. 10?
Okay, why does he's Mr. Pigeon? Villain, he controls pigeons. He's Mr. Pigeon, and the fact that he's a meme on the show, he's got to be number 10. It's Mr. Pigeon.
So he had to be in there, but you couldn't rank him anything high or higher than.
Correct. He's a meme, but he had to be in my list. Also, because it's amazing that Mr. Pigeon exists, and then on top of that, the fact that later he becomes the king of rats. It's incredible. Who cares? It's so good.
Okay.
And so also this man loves pigeons. What is purer than that? Nothing.
What about Monsieur Rat? Is he going to make on your top?
Eventually when he shows up.
So future, you got a spot reserved for Monsieur Rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the memes of Mr. Pigeon are what made me want to put him in. I agree.
Like, he's a meme. It's incredible. Like, when Monster Rat happened, I was like, oh my god, this makes Mr. Pigeon so much better. It's hilarious.
It's great. Okay, April, you're number 10.
My number 10 is also Mr. Pigeon.
Yes!
Oh, there you go.
But, like, okay, first off, he's been akumatized like 30 times. He deserves to be at least in the top 10. So he made it. He made my list. Also, controlling pigeons is way more powerful than you think. Like, you can use them to deliver mail for you, or, I don't know, attack people, or carry stuff. So, yeah, Mr. Pigeon, number 10.
It's so good. Like,
yeah.
He almost
was
like honorable mentions.
I was offended.
Well, look, he almost made number 10. So
I mean, I still don't understand who was on your list. So
okay, let's get to him. My number 10. This will be April's number 1, but he's my number 10 is the Collector. Hawkmoth himself gets number 10 on my list. I think it's very unique Akuma. I think he like puts people into his book. Like, that was pretty cool. And just the use of the villain in terms of he akumatizes himself to deflect attention. One of the best like akumatization uses, I feel like. So this is like, I don't like personally have a lot of attachment, I guess, to the Collector himself, although Hawkmoth in general. I don't know how that works, that I separate the two in my mind. But like some of these higher on the list, I just have a lot of personal attachment to. But the Collector, I do feel like, is one of the best villains the show's done. So I had to throw him in there.
I mean, for pure rage, I like appreciate his inclusion, because I remember that episode and just being like literally so mad that he akumatized himself, and I was like, I hate you so much.
Yeah, and April will abstain, I assume. So let's go to.
We know, it's okay.
Let's see if I called April's number 1 immediately. We'll see later in the podcast.
You're not going to get my number 1.
Yeah, because it's like the purple.
I have a second guess that we'll come back to for me. Okay, Delaney, what's your number 9? Number 9.
So this one kind of shocked me, even that I put this on my list. But Copycat, like I thought, that's a really early Ladybug episode. 1. Yeah, like I know it's Copycat. It's a really early Ladybug episode, but I think Copycat was kind of the episode where it's like, man, they can do really interesting things with these villains. And because episode 1 was like the bubbler, and it's like, well, this is stupid, But, Copycat, it was like, wow, he just is Cat Noir. And, like, so I think, to me, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, this was just a really neat concept that they, like, completely ran with. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I mean, Copycat was a stressful episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've done a lot, like, since then with, like, copying the people. But that's kind of the original one. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that he, like, we've impersonated Ladybug. But, like, I think this is the first. I mean, his akumatization was just being Cat Noir.
and Cat's great, so that's an easy point in favor. Okay, I like it. I didn't consider Copycat, but I think that's an interesting pick.
I stared at him, but didn't quite make my list. So
okay, April, tell us your number 9.
So in advance, I'm going to apologize to Delaney.
No,
but my number 9 is Silencer. Because I think the idea of stealing voices is really cool. And I like that there's, like, the humor aspect to it, where, like, in order to use it, he has to, like, make a hand puppet.
That's fair. It was pretty
which I think is, like, it's, like, the perfect, like, I don't know, like, yeah, you can steal voices, but this is the only way you can use them kind of thing. So I just think that's really great. And also, we got to see how clever, like, Baronet could be when it comes to, like, solving problems and things. So, solid villain in my book.
Silencer, Delaney.
Okay. So I actually considered Silencer because
I'm shocked you didn't include Silencer in your list, though.
Shut up. It's because, like April was saying, is like it's a really neat like concept, and like also I don't know what it is. I'm always a sucker in like movies or whatever when like a character like impersonates another character's voice and it's like ridiculous how accurate it is. And so like I really enjoyed that, like the scene, where he's like, I think he like talks into, I think it's a phone. And like, there's different things he does that I love stuff like that. So I mean, it's a really neat thing, and it was well executed. But no.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought about it.
Interesting pick. We'll see. Okay, my number 9 is the Chris Master himself. Chris Master.
Oh my god. Okay, I should have known. Why am I shocked?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. You got some good ones.
It's only number 9?
Yeah, this is my other pick for April's number 1 is the Chris Master. So we'll see if it's the Collector or Chris Master. I don't even really remember what his power is. He brings stuff to life. Whatever. He's the Chris Master. He's
to life.
Yeah, that's great. He's the best. Iconic, amazing, the best episode of the show. That's why Chris Master is number 9. Delaney, take us to your number 8.
It's Reflector.
Reflector. Okay. Reflect all or reflect, is this different?
Oh my god, I can't remember.
I think they're the same.
Okay. I don't know. I think Reflect All is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Typically the episode's named after the...
I don't know. Villain. Let me look at the Ladybug. We need to know. This is important. Important research purposes.
Reflector is the season... Yeah, Reflector. So... I thought it was Reflect All.
Oh, she's Reflector, sure. I don't know why Reflect All is... Yeah, because the Reflect All is the...
is it the French?
Is the muck or something. It's the
no, it says Reflect All.
That's the episode. Okay, anyway, it
doesn't matter.
It says
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I do want to, like, this is a villain that comes back, like, several times. I mean, like, not even just twice. I think we see her, like, 3 times. And, like, well, and also, of course, when we have, like, the episodes where we, like, bring back all the villains all the time. But, like, again, it's a really neat concept, and it's, when it first happened, it was, like, wow, and, like, I just really, like, I enjoyed it a lot. And also, it's Julika, like, it's great.
Yeah, I just love how, like...
And her design.
I was gonna say, she made my honorable mentions because of her design, because I just love how, like, her character, like, that character looks.
Yeah, I agree with the design, too. Yeah. That's good. Good pick. April, number 8.
My number 8 is Frightened Gale.
Okay.
So,
the rhyming.
No, God.
Okay, like, it's not the most useful power, but it is definitely entertaining. And we get to see, like, Chat Noir and Ladybug being all, like, teamworky and stuff like that. And, like, who doesn't enjoy some good old singing and dancing? And,
Delaney.
Delaney. It's also the episode where they play themselves in a music video.
God, shut up.
I don't know if that's related to the villain, but yeah.
Okay, you make a really good point. That is true. But, like, no.
But I think, like, forcing people to sing and dance, otherwise they get turned into a statue, is just kind of funny and entertaining. So, number 8 for me.
Yeah, it's fair. I briefly considered, because I agree it's unique. So it's a good pick. My number 8 is Annie Maestro, Mr. Thomas himself.
I'm really mad. I thought about it. Like,
you gotta rank Thomas. No, I think this is one of those picks I don't have emotional attachment to, other than it's Thomas. But I just think it's objectively it's like one of the coolest type villains. You get all the different animation styles. Like one of the most memorable uses, I think, of not necessarily uses, but visually one of the most memorable villains in the episode. So Annie Maestro kind of stood out the whole time. I was looking at the list as someone you gotta throw in there for me. Delaney, you're number 7.
All right. Dark Owl.
Yes.
I love Dark Owl. That episode, amazing. Like, I'm sorry, it's so good. Like, I grew up, like, my mom loves campy Batman. Loves, like, the 60s campy Batman, and that's what Dark Owl is. And it's amazing. Like, he's great. He's so funny. Also, he's Batman. Like, it's so great. And the fact that it's the principal and he just wants to be a superhero. And then, like, the message at the end of the episode is, like, one of the best about, like, you can be a hero, even if you're, not, like, I love that. It's such a good comic book trope. Like, shoot that directly into my veins. Like, so good. But then Dark Owl, like, his design's cool. I mean, it's cool. Like, he, like, becomes a superhero villain. It's really neat. And also, again, he's an owl. It's amazing.
Yeah, love Dark Owl.
Also, the principal's hilarious. So, like, it's great.
Loving the person who gets akumatized is a valid reason to include them.
Yes.
Hold that thought. Okay, so as the Chris Master and like others, we'll see. Okay, April, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Timebreaker.
Okay.
So
wow, I'm not the Stan.
I can't believe it.
Well, okay. First off, traveling in time is cool.
True.
And my favorite part is that her Alex's like hero self also deals with time, and like Timebreaker's a season 1 episode, so that's kind of a huge...
Don't credit them for narrative. Shut up. They don't get it. They're not allowed.
But she can still travel back in time, and I think that's boss. So
yeah, I agree. Timebreaker, one of the best early ones. Love it.
I do agree. Like the whole like her being a villain and a hero like with time is really cool.
Yeah, like I love that like connection. I guess
that connection.
The connection.
Yeah, and it ties in well to the whole show. I think so. My number 7 is Reverser.
I'm shocked.
Only number 7. But I think he's...
Who is your top? Like, I can't figure this out.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm trying to put it together in my head. I'm looking through the list trying to figure out
I usually have Dylan. Like, I know Dylan. Like, I mean,
one
I
or
could,
two
like,
obvious ones in there.
I can read Dylan, like,
okay,
all
we'll
the time.
see if you can figure
and
it out.
I'm like,
Reverser also a candidate for the top of April's list, and
true.
potentially Delaney's. Very cool looking villain, like black and white. I think the power is like unique and well utilized, and obviously it's in service of the most ridiculous episode. I think I've always thought of Reverser as kind of genuinely one of the best villains we've had. Pretty easy inclusion in my top 10. Delaney, you're number 6.
Robustus.
Okay.
I mean, it's Markov, like, hello, and then he tries to blow up Hawkmoth. Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't love robot AI taking over the world? Like, so that's it. Like, that's all I need to say. Robot AI, it's amazing. Like, the fact that Hawkmoth akumatized a robot is amazing.
Yes.
Agreed.
Like,
we can all agree on that. We can, if nothing else. Okay.
If nothing else.
Yeah. April, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Miraculous.
Oh, okay.
She is only number 6 because, well, first off, it's cool that she could steal the powers and give them away to people, and like she can combine them, and I think that's really awesome. And I think this villain has a lot of potential if it wasn't Sabrina, but
you know what? It's fair.
So number 6.
Okay. Yeah, I need to consider Miraculous on its own, independent of the episode. Yeah, I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, I thought I did think about Miraculous.
Interesting. Okay. My number 6 is Silencer.
Oh wow!
Wow, only number 6.
He's here.
Surprised. No,
Luca, he's here.
Hate you.
No, he's not actually here, but he's number 6 on my list because genuinely great villain, befitting of a genuinely great character is what I would say about Silencer. You guys covered his powers cool, is used really well. Just a iconic episode of the show, an iconic podcast on the episode. All of these things. Silencer, always going to be in my top 10. I'm pained I can't put him higher here.
LOL.
Okay, the top 5, Delaney. Start us off with your number 5.
Oh my god. I'm looking at my list, and I had messed it up.
Oh no!
Do you have 11 in there?
I have Dark Owl on here twice.
Okay.
I only have 9, so I need to really fast pick a 5. Oh my god.
Pick the favorite you've heard us talk about so far and put them at 5.
Oh my god, I want to die. It's fine.
Just put Silencer in there, it's fine.
Just put Silencer.
Just put Silencer there.
I mean, in all honesty, it's probably Kwame Buster.
Okay.
Because, like, Kwame Buster, like, she's the Ghostbusters, like, number 1. And then also, like, she is just, like, okay, she's like the only villain who's ever had a legitimate reason to be so mad. And like you're like, I feel so bad for this woman. And then like the fact that Hawkmoth is like, hey, you want to, like, here, go steal these Kwamis, you're right. And then she doesn't remember anything afterwards. Like, it's so rude. But, like, I just really enjoyed that episode. And I think a lot of it is, like, how threatening she is as a villain. Like, she's one of the more powerful villains because she's really, like, she's the only one actually, like, going for, like, she actually, you know, she figures it all out. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's
I can't believe I missed. I think I was in the middle of editing this list at work, and then I got super confused when I was moving my list around when I was like copying stuff down. That I was just like, because I literally was like, "Why is Dark Owl in here twice?" Really?
He deserves to be twice. That's fine.
He does.
Kwame Buster was a good off the top of the head inclusion, though.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, I would have thought Kwame Buster would be on your list. That makes sense. April, you're number 5.
My number 5 is the Collector.
Shocked.
Only 5.
So
Is that blasphemy?
No, it's not.
It's because number 1 is the Purple Edge Papillon.
Does that count? Does that?
I want you to know it's gonna count for April.
Is that on the list of the Wikia? Is that?
Or is she just gonna completely? She's gonna pull Mayura out like immediately, and we're just gonna like flip out.
Does Mayura count?
So the Collector's number 5 because it's Gabriel and he akumatized himself and I love it. Also, like that's the best way to start a season off is with like that type of like confirmation of who Hawkmoth was. So
there you go. Okay, only number 5 on April's list, so we'll see what the top 4 are.
Yep.
My number 5 is my easy pick for Delaney's number 1, Lady Wi-Fi, number 5 on my list. I think this is one of the classics. We're getting into some of the classics here in the top 5, but Lady Wi-Fi is great, genuinely cool. But like she connects to Marinette, like turns her off by unplugging the router, right? Something like that. Isn't it something like that in the episodes? But no, she keeps coming up, and she's just cool looking. She's a iconic character in the show, and the show keeps using her. It definitely like Lady Wi-Fi cemented herself as one of the top and most iconic villains.
I'm not surprised that Lady Wi-Fi is on your list, honestly.
I've always liked Lady Wi-Fi. It's overshadowed by Delaney's stand-up, but I do like Lady Wi-Fi.
True.
Delaney, you're number 4.
Anansi.
Ooh.
Anansi, okay.
Okay, number 1.
Yeah, you
it's because she's
Anansi.
hot.
Yeah, right?
Number 1 is because Anansi is super hot. Like no, that's the only reason that matters. But like, I think like. It was just really cool. Like, I love it when they're like, here's a new character. I'm like, oh, I know who's getting akumatized today. Like, and like, you know, she's like, it's so cool. Also, she was like, that was one of the times, like, you actually, like, you know, this was really a much more combative villain. And so, like, we had some really cool fight scenes. And, like, because a lot of the villains, you have to outsmart. Which, I mean, she does outsmart Anansi, but, like, this was one of the more physically threatening villains. Like, it's not even like she had a special power or anything which was like threatening. It was just that she was such a good fighter, and like, of course she had like other arms, but like
she was a spider, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was a spider. Because like, well, that's her like, I think I can't remember if it's mixed martial arts or boxing, but like she does, like she fights, like that's what she does, and then they're like, and her neat thing is that, you know, oh, I'm the spider, and then he just turns her into a spider, just like. But she's number 1 on my list because she's hot. But like,
yeah, that's a good pick for Delaney's list. So that's representative of your Ladybug opinions.
It is. It's extremely.
I support Anansi.
Also, Anansi's great. Like, she's awesome. Like, she's Alia's sister. She's super cool. Like,
yeah. Okay, April, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Sandboy.
Okay.
Because the idea, though executed, it was like goofy and like fun. In real life would actually be terrifying.
Yes.
To have like your nightmares come to life. Like I would literally be dead if that happened. So thank goodness Sandboy is not real. But also I really enjoyed the like the episode's format for this villain. So I liked that we kind of just like go straight into it. We don't get to see the akumatization. And then we figure out who he is at the end. So I think that's really nice too. But mostly number 4 because having real life nightmares is it's terrifying. I'm horrified just thinking about it.
What would your your Sandboy nightmare be? Would it be Hawkmoth dying?
Yes.
Over and over. Yeah.
over and over.
It would be you finally being in the dead wife garden, but then you being resurrected and your dream being crushed of no longer being the dead wife. Yeah.
Garden anymore. Yes, that's my biggest nightmare.
Being resuscitated from the dead wife garden. Yeah.
I had Sandboy on my list originally, like literally typed in my list. But then as I was going through stuff, for me, it was like kind of what we were talking about, like Dylan's mentioned, is like it wasn't the villain. I just really like that episode. Like that episode's so good, but for me, it wasn't like the villain. Like it was all the other stuff in the episode. So I took Sandboy off my list.
Yeah, as it's really a thin line. I feel like it's really hard. It's hard to tell between episode usage versus villain itself. But yeah, we know I love the Sandboy episode, but no, he didn't make my shortlist, even my 20 shortlist, just because he's more of a figurehead for the whole episode. But the power is really unique though, and he has an interesting design. So I think
also,
it's a legitimate.
It's a little boy having a nightmare. Like that's
exactly.
Yeah, and that's a really cool. That's like all uses of Sandboy are unique.
This is where like my list gets kind of weird, and you guys, you're really not going to be able to like. I'm
excited.
So because like it didn't take me long to make this list, but like there's multiple reasons why. Like like I said, like with Sandboy, I thought his power was horrifying, but like I also like the episode structure and everything like that. And he's flying around on a pillow, like that's awesome.
True, you're not wrong.
Awesome. Okay, we'll see what.
I wish that was my superpower.
Right?
Flying on a pillow.
Yeah.
What about
you get to fly and you're comfortable.
Or it's just a comfy plane or something, pillows in a plane.
Pillow.
Okay. My number 4 is Shot Blanc.
Who is on your list?
This is again, I have some notion in my head of separating, because Shot Blanc's an episode I really criticize, but I think the villain himself, this is one of the most terrifying villains. I love the design of Cat Noir, but like white and like him being like creepy and like broken, and like just his interactions with Ladybug. I mean, just some iconic scenes of on the fallen Eiffel Tower. But I don't know. I do think Shot Blanc is like just a very iconic villain for the show, and I was not disappointed that we finally see Cat Noir akumatized, and this is the result. I assume we'll be high on Delaney's list.
I have no comment about this villain.
Okay, also April. Interesting. Okay, we'll see. So, Delaney, take us to your number 3.
All right, my number 3 is Feast.
Okay.
So,
confusing because
confusing.
Sent a monster and also a villain, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like the Cindy monster, but he gets akumatized. It's weird. Dylan's probably like, I don't think this counts. Anyway, it's fine.
I said everyone. This definitely counts. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets akumatized, so that counts.
So I like, for me it was like one, like we were talking about, like terrifying villain. Like I mean, again, one of those villains that you're like, oh my god, like he eats Miraculouses. Like that's messed up. And also, I think part of it was like this long history with Feast and like all the damage Feast had already done. And then also, I mean, but also Feast is adorable. Like he's just this little round dude with a mouth. Like it's great. And see, there's a weird theme with Delaney's list. I'm not really sure what it is, but like it's there. But I just like Feast. Like I think Feast is like, and also this is an inhuman villain, which is another thing.
You do seem to favor the non-human akumatized villains.
Yeah, it's true. But what I mean is that like we didn't. I mean, there's not. I mean, oh well, yeah, okay, Robustus, but like, there aren't a lot of these. Like, I mean, Robustus.
Not a lot.
I mean, Robustus, I feel like almost doesn't count because Markov like is AI and he actually like he's a little bit different than I think than like Feast, and I guess it's more because Markov has a personality. Like he seems more human than Feast, who is like he literally doesn't have a face. So. Yeah, so it's definitely neat, and again, blown away by the episode, but it's also one of those. It was just a really different villain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's fair. I think it fits your Ladybug preferences too. So Delaney's 2 is Chat Blanc and 1 is Lady Wi-Fi, right? That's my prediction. So we'll see. Those are the only ones who haven't been named. April. Oh, and I'd like to point out, talking about the non-human things been akumatized. None of us have put the baby on our list. That get the baby that gets akumatized. If that holds, I'll be very upset. None of us put the baby on there.
You didn't
Why
put
did
the baby
you
on
do
your
it?
list either.
Look, I think April would be the most likely to put the baby on her list.
That's
so
true. That seems
I haven't
extreme,
lost
yeah.
hope yet. So
You
we'll
haven't
see.
lost hope yet.
You've
It's
got like
happening.
3 different, or I guess that you're back to 2 that you think are my number 1. So, because
Yeah, what did I say? Yeah, we got Chris Master at some point. You already said the Collector, though. I don't know what else. I don't know what else. Silencer. Have you done Silencer? I don't.
Yes.
Think, yeah, you did. So, okay. What's your number 3, April?
My number 3 is Chameleon. Because identity theft is not a joke.
Can you say that again?
Isn't it Chameleon?
Chameleon, yeah.
Chameleon, yeah. So
Lila. Some
Lila.
Lila representation.
So I think this is the best villain of Lila's because she's literally stealing people's identities. Which I mean, it gets kind of weird because she has to kiss them in order to do it or whatever. But like, man, you could really like mess some stuff up, like being other people. So that I think that's kind of scary. But also like I feel like it's very like a Lila thing. So
okay.
yeah.
I love the Lila support. I love it. I couldn't do it. But
Couldn't do it.
Maybe April's the true Lila stan.
I didn't put Lila on my list just out of pure spite. Also, that makes her a great villain because I hate her guts.
Yeah, I'm not shocked Delaney doesn't.
But
have
like it falls within like Lila's like realm of being evil, like stealing people's identities to make them look bad. So, because that's all she ever tries to do with like Ladybug is try and make her look bad, make herself look better. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that episode. It's been a while, so I'll revisit that one. Look, I'll do a Lila rewatch, all the Lila episodes only.
Okay.
See if I emerge sane from it. That would be Delaney if she was doing the Lila rewatch.
You mean skip? Like, what are you talking about?
You'll be off the podcast forever if you're forced to watch all the Lila episodes.
No.
My number 3 is Desperado. So,
okay.
I also have some very capable villains. Some of the best. So Desperado underutilized in the episode. Although I love this. This was on my top 10 episodes list. But the villain herself. This is one of the most capable, most intimidating villains. Takes them tons of retries to get past her. It's a pretty simple concept. She's like the trumpet gun and stuff, but she's very accurate. They're very threatening in the episode. The villain's design is amazing. Desperado is like the epitome of the
another hot character. Important.
Yep.
The epitome of like the not. This is the opposite end. Like you have the iconic villain, then you have just the great single episode use villain in Desperado. So Desperado is also one I definitely instantly thought of for my list, and I think deserves to be high up on my list along with my top 2 here. I'm not surprised that you guys wouldn't have her though. You know, definitely a low-key villain.
Well, there's lots. I mean, there's lots of villains, and like, I definitely thought about her.
I thought about her as well.
Should think more about her.
Wow.
Desperado 2.0, season 4.
Oh my god, I don't want any more sequel episodes.
more Luca.
Oh god.
Okay, shut up. Go over it.
Okay, Delaney, you're number 2.
I hate Dylan. It's just shot Dylan is so annoying. Like
your number 2. Okay, tell us more.
Annoying. Like I hate him. I've been sitting over here fuming the whole time. Anyway, like. Yeah, it's Chat Blanc because he's super scary and like it's super cool. Like if we ever get Dark Ladybug, I'm gonna like crawl out of my skin. Like it's so good. Like he's super creepy and also just like deranged. And I think it's always like a neat thing to explore like a darker side of like, you know, hero characters. And like again, he's just like he's out of his mind and that he blew up the moon like and killed everyone in Paris and the world. It was nuts. Like he's just scary and like literally so powerful it's stupid, like legitimately stupid. And like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like I think, and like the aesthetic of the episode and like his aesthetic, like I think it was just really neat. And like honestly, what really gets me about Shot Blanc is his eyes. Like it's just like, oh my god,
they're like piercing.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, like, can you blink, please?
Back up,
like,
bro. Jeez.
Yeah, actually,
bro.
back up, bro. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Literally back up.
I forgot the Chat Blanc not on April's list yet either, so I assume the Chris Master and Chat Blanc are April's top two. But I do not. You guys, I bet you couldn't even guess my top two. You probably have no idea.
I don't.
Yeah, crazy. I think it's a strong top two, so we'll see what your opinions
Okay.
are. Okay, April, what's your number two?
My number 2 is Chat Blanc.
Yay.
So, because the ability to destroy things should not be taken lightly. And, like, I was reading the thing, and he can destroy galaxies? Like, how do you destroy an entire galaxy?
Space!
Is that on the Wikia? Why is that canon, that he can destroy galaxies?
What?
On the Wikia.
Is that an episode? Is there a throwaway line?
I don't know. I need to rewatch it.
No,
but
he starts doing it, and it's like he's gonna end the universe.
Oh, well, he has a bubble that, goes,
He
that's
could
true.
potentially release destructive power.
I do think he's probably the most powerful villain.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Wow, like, I was nuts. Like, that's what I was talking about. I mean, it was so stupid, but it was also like, what? Like,
that's insane. Destroying galaxies. Also, I really enjoyed this
power is
character
just the eventual heat death of the universe. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
No, we can't have that. I need Chat Blanc to blow up the universe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's completely fair him being like this high on all your lists. Yeah, I think it's the most powerful villain, a very iconic villain. I think there's an argument for Chat Blanc number one.
Oh, absolutely.
Even. Yeah, so those are good picks. So it seems like my number two, unless it's April's number one, there's some possibility. But it seems like my number two is not on any of your lists, which I think is a bad move. Stormy Weather. Is
Okay,
my number
I
two.
knew this. I knew it.
Stormy Weather is the villain, the first villain.
This is
and
really feels like such a stand for the Stormy.
I stand Stormy Weather. She's incredible. Ignore the fact that I don't know if she even appeared in 2.0. It was like all a clip show.
Our first year of podcasting on Ladybug is just Dylan talking about weather. Like literally, like
not as good as Stormy Weather.
Every
still a good villain, but not as good as
every podcast was just Dylan being like, "OMG, I love Stormy Weather."
I do love this is when I think of iconic villains. Stormy Weather number one. Lady Wi-Fi up there too.
I definitely thought about it.
Yeah,
I have no comment.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna be number one on April. We'll go to your number one next then. If Stormy Weather's your number one, tell us.
It is my number one.
Okay,
so,
I'm mad about the Chris Master snub.
Are you?
Yes.
Like he expects me to snub it, but he
he was like, I already know April.
I was about to be really impressed if Chris Master is April's number one. I'm like, okay, you're the real stan of that episode. But okay.
Like, I think that's incredible. Being able to control the elements and stuff, like, that's crazy. Like, that's very OP. And I love that Stormy Weather is so OP that she's the character that, or in the second one, we don't even get to see them defeat her. It just happens.
Yeah.
Which means this is some serious business. I don't even remember what the lucky charm was. I remember it was something stupid. And I was like, it would have to be something stupid to take out someone who can control the elements and raise volcanoes up from the ground. Like, come on now.
Yeah, she does a volcano thing, right, in the sequel, yeah.
Yes.
That was crazy when that happened. We were like, oh my god.
She was a force to be reckoned with in her first episode. But in the second one, all right, sister, you've been taking up some notes. You've been reading. I love it. So, yeah, Stormy Weather. And her character design is great. I think she looks awesome.
She's definitely... Especially for one of the first villains, her character design is incredible.
Yeah,
it's amazing design. The first, I think, is the first villain if you go by the French order, and
it is
because she's
one of the most powerful, one of the most iconic. Yeah, so
yeah,
I feel I think Stormy Weather, Chat Blanc, Stormy Weather, these are solid number one picks.
And
I will say,
fly
for
airbending over here, so she can.
I was about to say she's the Avatar. Yeah,
she is the Avatar.
She is the Avatar, 100%.
I support her as the Avatar.
I think for me, the reason she's not on my list is because the sequel, like, she didn't ruin Stormy Weather for me, but it was so not as satisfying as what we wanted.
It's fair that their sequel is mostly a clip show, so that's a fair reason.
But also, isn't that like the ultimate villain is to have a clip show?
It should the clip show have been number one in all our lists, the best villain of Ladybug.
Also, I mean, we're gonna have a villain that is a clip show eventually, like where the villain is actually a clip show episode. Yeah. So, like, we'll see what happens.
They could do that, honestly.
That would be great.
Okay, like, I'm waiting for the villain to be a TV or something. Like, it's gonna happen.
So, I mean, the closest thing to what you're saying, I feel like, was Annie Maestro.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Delaney, you're number one.
You know what it is. Shut up.
Lady Wi-Fi.
It's absolutely Lady Wi-Fi. This is my favorite villain. It's Alia. Number one, it's Alia. Like, hello. And then she's an internet villain? Like, that's so amazing. And, like, her powers are dope. Like, she, like, and, like, the thing is, like, Alia is the only, like, it's like Marinette's competent most of the time, but, like, Alia is the most competent character. And they akumatize her, and then they're like, what are we supposed to do? She's the freaking internet. And then the fact that they literally just reset the router, like, stupid. Like, and then she keeps showing literally every time there's a Lady Wi-Fi episode, I'm like, yes! Yeah. Like, I get so hyped whenever I see Lady Wi-Fi.
That's why we know it's going to be your number one, is you always talk about Lady Wi-Fi.
I love it.
I know this. She's my favorite. Like, I started making this list, and I was like, Lady Wi-Fi. Station. I was like, done. Like, so easy. I love her. Like, there was no moment where I was like, I'm going to make someone else my number one. No, it's Lady Wi-Fi. Duh.
That's why I called it immediately. I thought it was that obvious.
But, like, I mean, I'm glad that you at least I'm glad it was on your list, and then you still stopped to recognize that you are not as much of a stan as I am, which is true. No one loves Wi-Fi or Alia as much as I do. I am the only Moralia shipper, like, on Earth. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. I will die on my ship, and it's fine.
Okay.
I'll just row my boat to other ships. But, like,
Moralia podcast coming soon again. We did one, though.
Yeah, we did do one. But, like, Lady Wi-Fi is just great. Her character design's great. It's Alia. She's scary. Every time she's appears, she's great. It's because Alia's so competent and she's so witty anyway. And then when she's a villain, it's like, gee, she's, like, throwing daggers at people. So good.
Yeah. I think that's a solid number one choice as well. So I support both your number one choices.
It's extremely good character.
But do you guys not know who my number one is?
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about it.
Let me run through this list.
I kind of announced it on an earlier podcast that this person was
in
contention.
I have to
didn't remember though.
God, I have to remember.
I considered Stormy Weather as number one as well. So
right, of course.
It's a toss up. Okay, where you time's up. Can't,
okay, that's fair.
Is it Felix?
No, it's not Felix. It's not Felix. Backwarder, number one. Backwarder.
Oh,
it's my favorite episode, and a big component of it being the best episode, I think, is it has the best villain. It's a similar pick to Desperado, kind of a low-key villain, but I believe this is like, her design is great. Her power is very simple, but very unique and used to incredible effect visually within the episode, and then used to incredible effect with how Ladybug uses the Lucky Charm against her through her power. Kind of like the use in the episode, the villain herself, her power. It all comes together for me as like the best package of someone getting akumatized in Ladybug. The only thing it kind of lacks is like the iconicness of a Stormy Weather or a Blanc or a Lady Wi-Fi. So I feel like all of my top five, those three plus Desperado and Backwarder, as kind of these lower key but really powerful, really great and use design, whole package type of additions. What come together for my top five, but I'm not too surprised she didn't make your guys' list, but I think she deserves more recognition. Backwarder.
I definitely think it's one of those, like, for me, it's again hard to separate the villain and the episode, but I mean, definitely, like, one, like, it's a great character who's akumatized, and then no, definitely, I mean, it's one of those, like, they really have to outsmart her.
Yeah, I thought about putting her on my list, but I just liked other ones more.
Okay. I'm more mad about Chris Master than Backorder not being on
Really?
so it's okay. Yeah,
He's gonna hold this against you forever.
I was like number one. I'm impressed with that ranking.
Dylan is so upset.
April's level of ridiculous has reached
I know.
new heights.
No, Stormy Weather was a good pick. Okay, these are all solid selections. I feel like at the top of these lists, so I'm pretty happy with that. Delaney, any takeaways from this exercise?
I mean, I'm extremely predictable, which we all knew. I mean, I think we run the gambit of we have literally we don't have a lot of similarities, so I think it's interesting how different our lists are.
Yeah, I think they're a little more similar than our episodes list.
That's probably true.
Yeah. But still pretty different. I mean, my number one wasn't on either of your lists. We had some other key differences, I feel like. Some of Delaney's top 5, not on either of our lists. April, takeaways?
I'm glad that I threw you guys for a loop.
You did. It's true.
Yeah. We should have known you were the Stormy Weather. You were the Stormy Weather historian as you re-listened to the first podcast and did a book report on that podcast.
This is true. She did do a book report. This is true.
I really did. But
this is accurate.
Well, yeah. I felt but everyone should know that Hawkmoth is number one in my heart, always.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The Collector not being number one. Yeah. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. No, he is number one in my heart. Already designing my dead wife garden in Animal Crossing. It's going to be great.
Oh,
are you actually, though?
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Oh,
there's no coffin. There's a tomb. There's a coffin. There's a tombstone.
There's a casket.
I haven't gotten it. Okay.
Yeah, it's
that makes it viable.
It's one of
I know there's a DJ table. You can get the DJ table.
Yeah.
In there. Oh, man,
yeah. No,
viable.
It's one of Celeste's.
Coffin is one of Celeste's.
Yeah, it's a casket. It's like golden casket.
Oh, yeah. There's a gold. No, that's not one of Celeste. But yeah, you're right. There's a golden casket.
I thought it was.
I have that.
I thought it was one of
the gold. Yeah. The smug villagers give you the golden ones from the houses. Okay, so I don't know if this is a bluff by
why are you talking about Animal Crossing?
I did put an Animal Crossing question into the Family Feud options, but we'll see if people answer that well.
Oh, did you see the Ladybug rug?
Yes, we got Ladybug items from the recent bug off, and okay, no one cares. Okay, this is
no one cares.
We
care about it.
We care about this.
It's fine. It's important.
What was I going to say about something about April? Oh, it's much like Hawkmoth being number one in April. Sorry, Luca. Even though Silencer was not my number one in my heart. So I just needed to throw that out there.
Is Luca a villain
now? He was akumatized, much like Hawkmoth was akumatized.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, there you go. There's our. Oh, and my takeaway was I think there's some really iconic villains on the show. We have a great mix of iconic villains, and then. Kind of some of these villains that were on some of our lists, but not others. These one-time use villains that haven't came back, but were really well used in their first episode, and I think are ripe for a season 4 episode. Maybe some of our Backward. She's gone from the show, so probably not. But Desperado, Nazi, these type of ones, I think are prime season 4 candidates for reaccommodation here.
I hope it's Stormy Weather.
Even more Stormy Weather too would be good too.
Stormy Weather 3.
Actually see her this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's not a clip show. The only way is it's not a clip show. That's the only way I'll be happy. Okay, let's go through some of this news.
There's so much news.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so for some reason, Jeremy Zag decided to announce a million things in June, despite the fact the show might not be back for a while. So let's start off by the first thing we saw was a poster for season 4.
I don't think I've seen this.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I opened it and I was like, whoa.
She's holding the new Miracle box that got transformed in the season 3 finale. And it says season 4. And that's it. Ladybug holding the Miracle box. There you go. It's a pretty cool poster.
And
there's a goat on there.
There's a goat and a tiger. And these are different Miraculouses that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's 2 cats. Important information, people. 2 cats.
And there's
Black cat, white cat.
The peacock and the butterfly.
Yeah. So I guess maybe the Miracle box could have been shifted. I mean, those are slots in the box. We know that. They're just missing.
It's a peacock. I thought it was a tiara. I was so confused.
Should be a tiara for Chloe. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, okay, there you go. There's the poster.
The colors are super cute.
We'll come back to that. Next up, we got an image from the movie, the Miraculous movie, which we speculated about. It is Cat on at a piano and Ladybug, and they're singing on like a stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. I think it's a pretty image.
I think it's pretty too.
So, like, is Adrian in New York because he's going to get to play in like Carnegie Hall or something?
This is separate from the New York special, which we'll talk about. This is the movie,
right,
which we assume is not in New York. Yeah,
but also,
so it's confusing.
I got confused.
It could be.
The caption is very interesting. He says, "Miraculous the movie is on its way, guys. We are working hard days and nights, but I believe the world needs more than even a love story." And he capitalized love story, which is really interesting.
And I'm like, what does that even mean? Also, like, are they going to get together in the movie? Am I going to lose my like ever loving?
I think this is in vague reference to turbulent times in the world. I think that's just all he's saying. Like, but
I don't know.
We were watching the first High School Musical, and when it got to the end, there's like their music number looks like the scene, and then
it's
I was
true.
like, this reminds me of this promo image I just saw.
Okay. I wasn't watching High School Musical when they were watching High School Musical, and now that you say this is dead up what it looks like.
It got to the climax of High School Musical. I was like, what? This is the Ladybug image.
The same thing. It's because
I can't believe this is High School Musical Ladybug edition.
It was a big culture. It was a cultural reset, Dylan.
I mean, I didn't experience it, but now I am. So there
you
go. The Ladybug movie will be a cultural event for all of us.
It's true.
Much like High School Musical.
The musical was going to be a cultural event. I'm still so bitter. It's fine. Cry.
Okay. Next we have. So
I didn't see this depression.
So the Miraculous International Twitter account said, we've been allowed to confirm season 4 is no longer slated for fall 2020. It's been pushed to 2021.
I mean, duh.
So this is not a official account. This is just fans. So I was like, what is, where's this information from?
Yeah.
And it is, the potential answer is that, there is this 10-year-old girl that got to like tour Zag. I don't know if we ever talked about this on the podcast. She's like a kid entertainment reporter.
Oh my god!
I forget her name right now, but this is a legit source of Ladybug news. And she like got a tour from Zag, and so she reported that it's 2021. And I don't know where she got the information, but she does have Zag connections. Okay. So I think that's the source of the information.
I need to like.
I know everything I just said is the most Ladybug thing I've ever said.
Can we interview her?
But I believe this is from a child.
Okay. Can we interview her? Is she too famous to like? Is she too important?
I think she's too famous for us. Yeah. I don't think we can get her.
Can we please get into contact with this incredible child reporter?
This child? And how do we get these same connections?
I don't even want the connections. I just want to praise her for being amazing. I'm blown away right now.
There's this in the summary as season 4 is maybe not until 2021.
As confirmed by our resident.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not been like tweeted by an official account, but that's word on the street. I will say.
Okay, my takeaway now from this podcast is that we need more 10-year-old reporters in the world. They get answers.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, though, takeaway from the world. So next we have, keeping it even more confusing about these side Ladybug projects, here's about the Shanghai special. Jeremy Zag tweeted.
Like, are these ever happening?
Who is she?
Who is she?
We see hashtag Lady Dragon, and we see an image of the body of the Lady Dragon. I assume
she doesn't look like a dragon.
No.
But I thought she looked like a tiger with the
stripes. I thought she looked like a tiger. I'm very confused.
Yeah. It makes me think of that one Pokemon. I can't think of it.
What describe the Pokemon? Growlithe?
It looks like a dog, and it's a fire type.
Oh, Growlithe.
Yeah, Growlithe.
Yeah. Okay.
I could see the Growlithe.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, that one Pokemon. Okay.
That one Pokemon.
So in April, there's like 5 million.
I don't know if this is Lady Dragon. The poster later says Lady Dragon, but that could refer to Ladybug. But whoever this is,
that could be like the name of the special, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. But Ladybug in Shanghai,
but like her hair is kind of like fire, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Blonde hair. Maybe it's Chloe. We'd stan. No, but no, she seems
also,
cool.
I won't lie. We don't know, but SMH, is there a new hero, some white girl in Shanghai?
Yeah. Well, Presumably she's Asian, but we don't.
Hopefully.
We haven't, hopefully. Next is this news about the New York special. Jesus. We have a poster for the New York special. Ladybug is standing. She's not on the Empire State Building.
She's somewhere.
But we do see the Empire State Building. I will say about the New York special, if we don't see the Empire State Building at all times, then I won't know where we are. So I hope that it stays in shot.
And the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
and the Statue of Liberty too. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty is not featured in this poster.
Look,
it's in the logo. It's in the logo actually in the shadow.
Snap. We're definitely going to see the Statue of Liberty.
And I can't wait for the line. Like, did you know this is actually from France? Like, did you know?
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to comment on that.
I am ready. Like, I am here.
I would be disappointed if they don't. The tagline, new city, same duty. But the big news is that Jeremy Zag says, special TV movie 2020 this year. New York special coming this year. 2020.
It's going to come out like the day before New Year's Eve.
Well, very possible it comes out in December. Thomas on Twitter, we'll get to Thomas's Twitter, but he got asked, does the New York special take place during season 4? Between seasons 3 and 4. So this is canonically the next thing that's going to happen in the show is the New York special.
The most shocking thing that has ever happened.
That will air next, presumably. Yeah.
If it actually airs, because I don't believe it will.
I don't know when the Shanghai special is supposed to take place, but now we know the New York special takes place between season 3 and 4, and is presumably the next thing we will see.
We've been hearing about the Shanghai special since we were supposed to get the Halloween special that didn't happen. Like,
that is a good call, and yeah, you're right. They announced it a long time ago, and it's still not coming.
And like, we're talking
was the Halloween special not the cute little animated? Well, okay, it's all.
I think it was a separate. I mean? I think it was a separate. I don't remember.
No, okay, there was confusion. Here's the thing: it was literally like during season 1 or maybe season 2, where it was like we're getting a Halloween special, and there was confusion about whether the Shanghai special was the Halloween speciel, and then it was just like we have no idea what's going on. Like,
it wasn't that cute little short that they did.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? I mean, I'll find it for you, Delaney.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is it one of the chibis? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do want to see it, though. Send me the chibis.
Chibis are relevant because Jeremy Zag directed them. He's directing the movie. Next, we have a repost of the poster from the Miraculous Ladybug Instagram account, but it says, our most ambitious season yet. Ladybug emoji. So... our most ambitious season, I mean, presumably it would be. So
if you still need to watch season 3, you can catch up on at Netflix.
Yeah, Disney Channel has been airing them. That's in the US.
Apparently.
I think they're done now. So the Disney Channel caught up, and it's also all on Netflix. So
I also like that I can see this person's comment, and they're like, "There's seriously going to be a season 4." I'm like, what?
Maybe. Who knows?
We've
it
been
might
talking
never
about
happen.
Season 4 since season 1. Like.
That's true. Last up, a week ago, Jeremy Zag posted a poster for the Shanghai special. New city, same duty, same tagline. It says Lady Dragon at the bottom.
Okay, I'm telling you, that has to be the name of the thing. Maybe she becomes Lady Dragon.
Miraculous Shanghai. Well, I feel like it's more likely she's Lady Dragon than the new character.
Also, there's like a dragon on the logo.
And there's instead of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it's got the dragon. But on the New York one, underneath like New York, it said United Heroes. So,
interesting.
Oh, that could be the name of the New York special.
Yeah, like this could be like these could be like episode names. Like, you know, this is like the actual title, but we're also still doing like, you know, calling it Shanghai and New York is like the promotional material, but then canonically it's like Lady Dragon.
Yeah, it might be that. Yeah. And we previously saw from the New York special, we did see a character of a black hero, which we talked about that in a previous podcast. So that could be one of the United Heroes or something. So we'll see who Lady Dragon is. We'll see when the Shanghai special airs. Who knows? Okay, so there's the news. So these posters are a good transition into the Thomas's tweet segment, potentially the season the series finale of the Thomas's tweet segment, because we're just done.
It is. It's true.
There's so much to keep up.
I wish. We're not going over everything.
Okay, listeners, I need you to know that. So Dylan makes us outlines, right? And the first line in under the Thomas tweet segment is Thomas has gone off the rails again. Like obviously this is true, but the fact that
that's Dylan's my summary.
Dylan's outlines are literally like the best. Like they're like the best part of every podcast.
I'm glad. So the reason I say again is because let's recap on this Thomas's tweet segment. Yes. Thomas, in the past, deleted all of his tweets and then made a separate account and divided into a Ladybug only account and then a personal account to post in French. It's kind of like a French and an English account too, though. But he deleted his past tweets, presumably because he's going to have new Twitter behavior and not be as off the rails. And yet, this month has been the worst Thomas month ever on Twitter. So,
and it's like been back to back to back. Okay, y'all, it's been like literally a week, and like every day. And sometimes the same day, we'll be like, y'all, have you seen this tweet? Did you see this today? And it's like, bro.
It's my favorite thing to do is to put those.
also, to be on Twitter and to see it in real time is crazy, by the way. Like,
he's been more relevant than ever, Thomas's Twitter in the animation sphere. So I think the problem is that we're in quarantine and he's bored. I think that's the problem. But Tom, I mean, in general, like, we love you, Thomas. We're going to criticize your tweeting skills once again here. Please just get off Twitter. Like, please. I mean, you shouldn't, because interacting with the fans is good. And I do think that's good, but, not good what you're doing. Okay, so all this started, I mentioned the posters because it started from a place of Thomas being once again unfairly criticized by dumb Ladybug fans. So it starts with like him in the right because
but then it just spirals.
And then it spirals from there. But we talked about the Adrian stans. Always say, why isn't Adrian the equal main character with Marinette? Why doesn't he get more screen time?
Because he's not, y'all.
We talk about this all the time. So in all the posters, it's only Marinette and not Adrian. And
I honestly think this is America's fault, because in the United States, on Netflix, it is the whatever tales of Miraculous and Cat.
Yeah.
And like, no, it's Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, he is in the subtitle for a lot of the world. But so people got upset about Thomas. Fans, you're wrong about this. I don't think it's like bad to say like, oh, I love Adrian. It's sad that he's not in any of the posters. I think that's fair. Like he's not in any of the posters. But just tweet at Thomas like, well, Adrian's supposed to be a main character, and Thomas is like, no, Marinette's the main character. This is a girls' show, and we're doing like feminist stuff by making like the summary of what he's saying by making Marinette the main character. So good. I think. Stuff. Good by Thomas, and then but people keep tweeting at him, and he's too affected by it, and he's so it does start with that. So I think it's important context. Like he's being hounded by annoying fans, and if it's okay to be an Adrian stan, we love Adrian. So if Adrian's your main character, that's great. If you want him to have more screen time, that's fine. Just stop tweeting at Thomas about it. Like it's not going to do anything. Also just recognize Marinette is like the actual like literal main character, and Adrian is a close second, but it's that's fine.
Cat Noir is Ladybug's sidekick. That's true.
He's the sidekick, and
that's
he's
the
great,
end of it.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I will say all the plot revolves around Adrian's family right now, so I don't think Adrian's really being underutilized by the show. TBH, I think all
his dad's the villain. Y'all, calm down.
So
he's more relevant than ever.
True.
But yeah, just Thomas is he's going crazy on Twitter, and it turns out like we've realized he blocked Molly, wife of Noel, the creator of She-Ra, at some point, because there's this hilarious exchange with someone.
He was like, "Why'd you block Molly, bro?"
Adding, why'd you? Or he like added Molly for some, and then Molly's like, "I literally can't see this person. I don't know who you're talking about." So, so that's how we knew that Molly was. Because Thomas, when someone tweets at like Molly Noel being like, don't you see what Thomas is doing? I don't know. Like they're being annoying, but Thomas is like, you should be ashamed of like yourselves. And he's like, at Noel would not approve of this. So he's like adding Noel like for She-Ra fans acting badly, which just leave Noel. Why are you adding Noel? Leave Noel out of this. She doesn't care about what you're talking about.
My favorite comment is when he's like, oh, not, I'm not saying anything, but the fact that out of the 900 people who yelled at me today, they all have She-Ra icons. And I was like, number one, shut up. Number two, the whole internet has She-Ra icons right now. Like, just shut up. Like,
that's my response is like, that's just animation Twitter has She-Ra icons right now. That's why they all have She-Ra icons, Thomas. Right. Mystery solved.
My icon on Twitter right now is She-Ra. Like,
Delaney, were you tweeting at Thomas hateful messages?
Delaney, are you now blocked?
Are you blocked by Thomas, Delaney?
I obviously was spam messaging about Adrian.
I knew it.
It was me.
Yeah.
I told him I wanted Luca to have more screen time. like the entire.
That would be if I was going to complain to Thomas. That's what I would do. I'd say, why doesn't Luke have more screen time? But no, okay. So for some reason, he's adding Noelle, which is annoying, and it's like he turned out he blocked him. You're allowed to block whoever, but it just seemed random and stupid.
Well, the thing that got me was that like he was like, "Oh, I blocked her. I guess she was being rude." And I was like, "You don't even know."
yeah. He's like, "I guess she was being rude." I don't think he realized. I don't know if he realized who she was or something.
I was like,
but you know what? I also love that too. Like at the same time, like
he doesn't know. That's my thing too. And then, oh my god, he's just so. I'm like,
okay. And then there's talk of like why aren't there's someone starts criticizing Thomas. Why aren't more women involved in the production of Ladybug, or specifically writing about Ladybug? And so this is actually Thomas being in the wrong. So he gets very defensive. And when Thomas does it's offensive, what he says is, how do you know? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what the situation's like. So that's his default response. It's like, you don't really know what's going on.
At the same time, he was like, I have no power. But at the same time, I'm completely in control of everything going on in Ladybug. And it's like, what is the truth, Thomas?
So I think it's fair that he tweets that at fans. But then our friend Katrin starts criticizing Thomas, so he starts messing with our friends, so we're not happy with Thomas.
No, not okay. Dear
so
friend Katrin,
Katrin's like, you're in charge. You could have just hired more women. I don't know, I don't know what it's like in France. There's plenty of women available. You didn't really hire. He's like, how do you know? You don't know what it's like. I didn't have control of who I was hiring. So I think that's not true. I think he probably had a lot of control over who's on the Ladybug crew.
Also, I didn't have control in who I was hiring. That's a terrible sentence.
But it's not an exact quote, but something like that.
But that's what I'm talking about, though. It's like, dude, you just
yeah. But I don't think he, again, he's like, you don't know what you're talking about, to Katrin, who is in the animation industry as a storyboarder in the U.S. industry. So she does know what she's talking about.
Absolutely.
And
also, I think she even said something about me, like, I literally know people in France, but okay, sure.
Yeah. It's like, it's a fair thing, I guess, to say that the industry in France is maybe different than the U.S., but it's a fair criticism that the Ladybug crew is like the writer's room specifically for this. He's talking about female-led show specifically targeted at girls as like 5 dudes and 1 woman. And like, it's a fair criticism.
And I think it's important to note here too. This is a very there's this attitude of like, well, I wasn't in control of the people I was hiring. You know, I can only deal with like who the applicants were, and it's like that's still your problem. This is literally on you. Like, this is what we're talking about.
His point is like the industry is dominated. The people who I would hire are all male, and so. You know, like, we understand, but you need to, like, specifically reach out.
About it.
You need to specifically reach beyond that pool if you're only seeing men that you could hire. And you need, if you're, like, otherwise you're, like, you should be criticized for this. So, so that was, I think that's not a good look for Thomas. I hope he reconsiders kind of this position.
It was, I mean, this is the part, you know, usually we're like, oh, well, Thomas, but this was really, I mean, this was extremely upsetting. Like, to me personally, and like I'm sure it obviously upset all of us for talking about it, but like it's just like, how do you have this, you know, quote unquote super feminist show that you're really proud of, and then you do this?
Yeah,
like bro,
especially coming out of like the whole, like, you know,
also starting a fight with one of the literal most monumental piece of animation that's come out in the past 10 years.
Right.
Like, this is what you did, Thomas. You started you were trying to have a conversation. You derailed it, and then you started attacking, like, not only like the creator of a show that is, like, I'm sorry, more popular than yours. And then on top of that, like, literally a literally groundbreaking piece of an actual feminist, like, progressive work of animation. And this is what you did. Like, bro.
It's like, well, and like he sat there and like had this whole, like, you know, I don't want to call it a fit, but like, you know, he was just like,
it's a fit. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, he had his whole fit about
I almost drowned.
Like,
I was taking
like top. He's, you know, everyone's all upset because like Cat Noir is not in like the posters and stuff like that, and he's like, well, Ladybug's like the hero, like it's a girl, why can't it be a girl kind of thing? And then you're gonna sit there and like be like, well, I don't get to hire girls. Like, come on now, really?
Yeah. I agree. It doesn't fit with what he was saying before. And I do think Thomas likes Shira, and I think he likes Noelle. It's just, was not channeling that into saying the right things on Twitter. And you don't need to at people if their fans are doing something. You would get annoyed by that, Thomas.
Yeah. It's like, and like what you said about like legit, it was a fit. Like again, it's funny. We're like, LOL, the things Thomas tweets, but then it's also like, if you like, you have a following, and your following is a bunch of very young, impressionable girls. Can you maybe chill out, please? Also, don't yet like. Obviously, people shouldn't yell at people on Twitter in general, but like, obviously, if you have 10-year-old girls yelling at you, that's not great. But also, don't yell back at them. What are you doing?
Yeah, like
you're yelling at 10-year-old girls.
Like Ladybug fans, just don't at Thomas with criticism ever. Like he doesn't want it. That's not why he's on Twitter. And Thomas, ignore it because you're making a kid show, so you're gonna have kids adding you on Twitter, and it's your responsibility to ignore them. So that's what he should be doing. We hope he takes a step back from Twitter. In other news, he's counting down to something on Twitter, which we don't know. As of this recording, it is not. The countdown has not been reached, but we'll see what he's counting down. He's like a website, comics website or something. It might have to do with that. I don't know. We'll see what's up with that. But everyone's bored in quarantine is the summary from what Thomas is doing. And I'm glad Noelle and Molly are like ignoring what he's talking about. It's good. I don't think they care.
We're too busy trying to get She-Ra movie trending on Twitter. Okay, we have more important things to worry about.
Doing that, but it's all the She-Ra actors are doing that. That's productive use of fandom. Twitter Ladybug fans. If you want, get hashtag Cat Noir movie trending. If you really care that much, don't tweet at Thomas.
Don't tweet at Thomas.
But... I mean, that would be annoying too. It's like Ladybug movie, not Cat Noir. But at least, that would be more productive at least.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Anything else, Delaney or April, from Thomas's tweets?
Just like
I enjoyed his tweet today where he like retweeted this like fashion designers like clothes or whatever, Hawkmoth. And he's like the Hawkmoth vibe is strong, and I'm like, yeah, it is. But they were really pretty. It was the Robert Woon 2020 collection. So go check it out.
It's calling to April if it's Hawkmoth vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So still a lot of activity other than everything we've mentioned. Also,
oh my god, wouldn't it be so funny if all of a sudden like Gabriel did like a fashion show and just suddenly there's a lot of butterflies and Cat Noir and Ladybug are like,
like, this seems normal. Yeah, that could happen.
And then we all collectively have a stroke during the episode.
There you go. That's it for Thomas's tweets. Unless there's news, we might just not talk about it anymore if it continues in this fashion, just because it's depressing. So there you go. This might be the end of the Thomas's tweets. Okay. We'll be back in a month. I know we were bi-weekly for a while, but I kind of have my hands full with this Ghibli rewatch series we're doing. It's taking a lot of my time.
There's so many.
So we're gonna be, and also it looks like Ladybug is not gonna be back this year, so there's not really any like pressure to get all the topics in. We have time.
We're just gonna play stupid games every month. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so we'll be back a month from now on.
We're just gonna come on and talk about our lives and
space dumpsters.
I think July 27th, I think, is the month from now. So if enough of you answer the overlyanimated.com/familyfeud and we can get everyone together, because that would be a big logistical thing, then we'll maybe do Ladybug Family Feud. If not, I had an idea that we have a lot of topics on our outline that are like these kind of small fun topics, and I think we could combine them into a game night, Ladybug Game Night. So we play all these 15-minute games, including we take like a character quiz of Ladybug.
That sounds like fun.
So
we talk about crack. People want us to talk about crack ships. Maybe read someone's fanfic. So all that in like a game night. So I have Ladybug himbos written down. That was yeah. So those are any topics like that.
You mean the Kim podcast? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the Kim is. Spoiler: the answer is Kim. I also have Ladybug is like Pokemon. I don't remember why Ladybug is like Pokemon, but that's on our list. So that might, if we can figure out why I wrote Ladybug is like Pokemon, we can add that to the game night.
Okay.
Island.
It's the Kwamis, like Pokeballs.
Oh,
maybe. Okay. Yeah,
don't you have
that
fits.
They're all like
I'll add it to the Ladybug game night. And look forward to April's island tour of her dead wife garden. Which
oh my god!
Oh my god!
Okay, what if we did a video podcast and it's okay, that would be great.
That would be great.
What if we have a contest and they get to come visit my dead wife garden on my island?
We just start having Ladybug.
The intersection of people who would want to visit, who can visit, who are fans of this is like anyone who entered would win.
It's me. It's me and Dylan. Like it's literally me and Dylan. Like that's it.
I mean, we could do a YouTube video if we could record it or something.
We'll record a tour of my dead.
No, we could and put it on our YouTube. Yeah, if you do that, Delaney could probably record it with the screen capture.
Oh my gosh, I found purpose in life again.
Okay, good. This is a long-term goal.
Y'all, I'm bored in my house, but I'm not tweeting like a crazy person. So,
so good.
It's true. None of us are at
very
Thomas Board
useful,
levels.
Productive things like building your dead wife garden on your island.
Yeah, that would be productive. Okay, that's it. overlyanimated.com/discord to talk with us. Make sure you fill overlyanimated.com/familyfeud, fill that out. And if you want to support us on our Patreon, that's overlyanimated.com/patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patron, especially our patron podcast, Needle. And thanks to our patron, executive producers, Ryan Stevax, features Hugh Michael, Needle, and Phonician. Thanks that's all the patron stuff. So we'll be back for Ladybug a month. Look out for our Ghibli rewatch series that's happening. Look out for other stuff we're covering at overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.